Hey everybody, welcome to the final mentor workshop of the semester. Thank you all for being here. So excited to get started. Please feel free to introduce yourself in the comments section. Excited to get going. If you're watching the recording of this, you can fast forward by 5 minutes. We're going to get started in 5 whole minutes. Thanks for being here, everybody. Looking forward to covering some key, critical, awesome content. Cool. Posting the link there. It is live. Boom. We are live on the site. Boomski. Love it. We are there. We are on. Boom. All righty. So we're going to cover some key things in this workshop this evening. So this workshop, we're going to cover how to continue your relationship with your student even after the formal program is over, how to help your student find fulfillment through what they are going through right now in their lives, and the questions you can help to stimulate those conversations, and then just the final steps for the program this semester. Just one quick thing, please remember to put your feedback for your mentor meetings on the AIM dashboard. Just go to the site, click login. You'll be prompted to provide your feedback for your mentor meetings with your student. It should take less than 2 minutes, but it helps us know that you're actually meeting with your student and that the mentor relationship is going and actually happening. So I'm excited. I'm excited that y'all have made it this far. I'm grateful that y'all have been here for this entire duration, and yeah, I'm glad that I've been able to work with you this past spring semester. I'm excited to learn some of the stories. I know I've already heard some really incredible stories from our students. For example, one of our students, through using one of our mentors' tutelage as well as one of our guest speakers' just advice, she was able to help identify and distinguish what internship she was going to pursue. She was in between internships. She had 3 offers, 2 of which were right down her kind of like study area or area of study and just kind of like the traditional path for her. And then one was kind of out of left field. And she, through her mentor's advice and through our guest speaker's advice, ended up taking the out of left field internship because she realized, why not have this experience? She already had similar experiences before, and she's really excited about it. But the point is that this mentor program has really helped a lot of people make some great, just different career decisions that help them just expand their horizons. So very cool stuff going on through this mentor program. We're going to get started in 2 minutes. If you are watching live, see you all shortly. So, other cool things, I guess, and updates in the mentorship world. I know I've brought this up before, but if you are someone that works at a company and you think, shoot, we have a mentor program or we don't have a mentor program, and I think it could be beneficial, I love to chat and see if we might be able to do something cool and synergistic. We also have our executive mentor programs where if you're a leader of your company, if you're thinking to yourself, shoot, I'd love to get paired with another leader outside of my company, we've got our executive mentor programs. And if you're a manager of people, we created this cool new tool, which is just called Manager Insights, that just helps leaders better get a better understanding of their team, their direct reports, and just really get a pulse on where they're at and just help communicate with them. So those are the so there's some cool ways that we love to interact and engage outside of just the traditional higher ed mentor program. So if there are opportunities for that, or if you think there might be opportunities, we'd love to connect, reach out, and chat about that. We'll get started in 1 minute, 1 minute. Cool. We're almost there. Getting started at 7 on the East Coast, 6 in Austin, Texas, where I'm from, 5 in Denver, Colorado, and 4 on the West Coast. We're going to get started in just a moment. This is always the bittersweet workshop. It's always kind of crazy to think that the semester has already come to an end, but it's kind of crazy to think how much change has happened over the course of the spring semester. It's kind of that whole crazy realization of like, it feels like we started just yesterday and now we're already into a new kind of realm and area. So welcome everybody to our final workshop of the semester. So for this workshop, plan on about 15 minutes of content and then maybe 5 to 10 minutes of Q&A if necessary. So final key notes for the semester. Please remember to input your feedback to your mentor meetings on the Ambition in Motion dashboard. Just go to ambitioninmotion.com, click login, and you'll be prompted to provide your feedback for your mentor meetings with your student. It should take less than 2 minutes. It just lets us know that you're meeting with your student, and it also allows us to get feedback and learn how we can improve the program. So please complete that survey and just input that information. It just allows us to know that things are happening. You and your student are meeting, and it just gives us great feedback so then we can learn how we can improve the program. So during this workshop, we're going to cover how to continue your relationship with your student, even after the formal program is over, how to help your student find fulfillment through what they are going through right now in their lives, and the questions that can help stimulate these conversations, and the final step of the program for this semester. But as we always get started, I always love to cover what are the 3 keys to success in your mentor relationship. That is honing your strategy, story, and state. I say those in reverse order of importance because it is so critical to be in the right state for your mentor meetings. And by the way, this is the case for any scenario. If you're going on a sales call, if you're about to go to an important meeting with your boss, if you are about to meet with a friend that you haven't seen in a while, you want to come in with peak energy. You don't want to be sluggish or out of touch or just, not in a great state. You want to be ready to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into a state conducive for being successful, not only in a mentor relationship, but in any scenario where we are meeting with somebody, whether it be virtually or in person, getting ourselves ready to go for that. So what I want you to do is I want you to stand up, and for the next 20 seconds, I want you to shake it out. I want you to let it loose. I want you to shimmy your legs. I want you to shake them out. I want you to shake your arms. I want you to shake your head. I want you to shake your neck. I want you to scream at the top of your lungs. On the count of 3, scream. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Just let it out. Let it loose. Let it go. I just love screaming it out. It just gets the vocal cords going. It gets the breath work going. We got so much stale air in our lungs. It just allows us to breathe, get it out of there. The screaming gets the vocal cords going. We normally don't talk at that octave normally. So it just, there's a lot of benefits from just shaking it out, letting it loose. It just gets things moving, gets that blood flowing, gets the endorphins running. The second key is your story. What is the story you are telling yourself? So you might be telling yourself a story that, well, I signed up for this program. I'm happy to be a mentor for the semester, but after the semester's over, why would my student want to stay in touch with me? And I'll tell you exactly why. I'll tell you your student wants to stay in touch with you because they want to keep learning from you over time. But also, why do you want to stay in touch with them? Because there are going to be new things that are going to be going on in their world that you can be helpful with. There's a certain level of importance. There's a certain level of meaning. There's a certain level of just drive you get from being a significant part of somebody else's life. And plan on telling yourself a story that you could be in the student's life for not just the semester, but for potentially way beyond after that. It doesn't have to be for the rest of your life. It could be for the next year. It could be the next 2 years. It doesn't necessarily matter. You don't have to put a number on it, but make sure that you try to schedule regular conversations with your student to keep in touch. Tell yourself a story for why it's important for you to stay a part of their lives and why it's important for them to stay a part of your life. The third key is the strategy. So those are the things that you can do. You can try a lot of different strategies. There's thousands of strategies of how to be a great mentor, how to keep in touch with your student. One thing is just setting a date on the calendar. Whenever you have your meeting, Never leave that meeting without a date on the calendar for the next meeting. The reason why that's so critical is because, at the end of the day, things happen. And 4 weeks turns into 4 months, which turns into never. And so if we don't get a time on the calendar, it is unlikely for us to meet again. So when you're meeting with your student, always try to set time aside to just have some time on the calendar for the next conversation. It's just a great way to ensure the relationship continues on and thrives. It doesn't fizzle out. And it's on both you and the student to set those up. So I just really want to make that clear. It's on both of you to really continue that relationship. I'm going to take a moment to pause, see if there are any questions, any thoughts, any comments going on here. Looks like there aren't any at the moment. So let's dive into the next part of this workshop, and that is continuing your relationship with your student even after the formal program is over. Schedule your next call over the summer. If nothing sets the tone like taking action. By scheduling this meeting, you're conveying that you want this relationship to last. Ask your student how you can help them next semester. I know that may sound crazy, it might sound very early, but the summer goes by quick. Take time to just see when works for them to just stay in touch and to help out in any way possible. And then ask your student if he or she is interested in connecting with anyone and if you might be able to facilitate introductions. I'm a huge fan of LinkedIn. If you're on LinkedIn and you're connected with your student on LinkedIn, say, hey, you know what? I got these lists of connections. Go through my LinkedIn profile. If there's anybody on here that's of interest and I know them, actually know them, I'm happy to introduce you. That's one of the nicest things you can do. And really, maybe even work with your student, going through the list with your student to see if there's anybody you're like, oh man, I haven't chatted with John Doe in forever. I haven't chatted with Shelby in forever. It can be a great way to identify introductions and just ultimately help your student identify next steps. So I'll take a moment to pause, see if y'all have any questions about that, see if there's anything of interest here. So let's jump into this next part. So the next part of this segment is how to help your student find fulfillment within their work. So there are 5 core questions that I love to ask to help a student just find fulfillment in their work. So the first question is, what rewards await you for moving through this challenge? And really what this just means is, what are the things that you're hoping to accomplish from essentially, what are the things that you're hoping your students will accomplish from moving through a challenge that they're facing, whether that be landing an internship, whether that be landing a job, whether it be getting into a graduate program, whether it be getting a grade that they're hoping to accomplish? What rewards await you for moving through this challenge? The reason why that helps with finding fulfillment is because it helps them get their eye on the prize of what they would like to accomplish. I'll copy and paste this question, post in the comment section. The second question I love to ask is, what will be the cost of failing to work through this challenge? See, there's always that apples and oranges, or not apples, it's always the yin and yang. You always want to combine the rewards, the outcomes, the opportunities with the cost, because ultimately, if we don't have essentially a clear understanding of like what's going to be the cost of not doing this, we are going to ultimately put ourselves in a bad position. So ultimately, what are the costs of failing to work through this challenge? That is something that is so critical to the just mentor bond and just ultimately helping your student identify where their biggest challenges are. I'll post that in the comment section right now too. So the third key question here is, what might be the impact of your actions? So what are the things that if you take action now, what might be the impact of them? Helping your student clarify that can be so critical to the mentor bond, to the relationship growing, just developing in general. So what might be the impact of your actions? That can just help them put things into perspective. See, sometimes students just go through the motions, and sometimes even us as leaders, as professionals, we just go through the motions of our life. We just think to ourselves like, okay, like if I do this, or I'll keep going, but we don't think about what is the end all be all, like ultimate outcome of our actions. If we can put that into perspective, we can get a clearer idea of what we want to accomplish. Four is, what will be the impact of not taking any action? And really, that's such a critical question to ask, because it really helps put things into perspective. Like if I don't take action, what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to keep keep on the same kind of trajectory that I've been for my life up to this point in time. And that's not actually helpful. So what will be the impact of not taking any action? And then the fifth question is, what are you willing to commit to so that you can make a change? This is a great question because it allows them to clarify something. And this is one of the big reasons why maintaining this relationship with your student, even after the semester is over, is so critical. Because by asking, what are they willing to commit to so that they can make a change? It allows them to get a better idea of what you can help hold them accountable to. So the next time you meet with them, there's a very clear idea of like, okay, what are we going to be doing? What are you going to be doing to try to just make a change in your life and to really make an impact and drive yourself forward? So those are the 5 questions I love to ask a student to help them identify and just gain fulfillment in their life and their career. The final step for this program. So completing the post-program assessment, it's located on your dashboard, which essentially is available to you now. Please complete this by May 19th. Essentially just go to your dashboard, log in, provide your feedback. It gives us great insight and powerful insight as to how we can improve the program for future mentor relationships. I just want to end the semester with, I'm just so grateful to have you all as mentors this past semester. It's been an incredible semester. I know there's a lot of really powerful stories from students. I know I mentioned earlier in this workshop that there was a student who she had multiple internships offers and her mentor helped her really identify which one was the right fit for her. And now she's so excited, couldn't be happier about what she's pursuing with her internship. Your work, your impact, your role as a mentor really is powerful. I think I shared this statistic in our very first orientation, but when students have mentors in their college careers, they're 3 times more likely to thrive in their life than students who do not. You being here for your student has a huge impact on their life and on their ability to thrive in their careers. Thank you all for being here as a mentor. Thank you all for doing what you do. We're super grateful to just have had you in this program. And final steps, if you are somebody who thinks like, shoot, I love to apply this mentor program in my company. I love to have a fellow leader, a mentor who's on the same level as me, but maybe outside of my company, or I'm a manager of people and I'd love to see if there are tools that can help me with my management of teams and people and just having a direct pulse as to just where your team is at. We've got tools here. I'd love to chat with you about that if you're open to chatting. But it's been an amazing semester. Thank you all for being here. I'm grateful to have had you all in the program this past semester. And I just, hope you have a wonderful rest of your evening. I look forward to staying in touch. And I hope to have you as a mentor next semester in the fall, as we're going to have a lot more students coming back to campus. Things are hopefully going to be more opened up. And I think we'll have a greater engagement and just greater clarity as to what the next steps are, ideally post-COVID. So thank you all for being here. This has been wonderful. Have a wonderful rest of your night and have a great summer. I look forward to catching up next